Hello, my powerful friends, and welcome back to another episode on Divine Conscious Podcast. I am your host, Lotus. I hope everybody has been staying warm, and I hope everyone has been driving safe. I only say that because it has been snowing for the last 2 days here, and I'm a fire sign, so I don't know if it's just fire signs in particular or if it's just me. It's probably a little combination of both, let's be honest. But I absolutely hate it. Okay, this is like the only time I ever use the word hate. Anything below 75 degrees, I'm freezing, and I don't like it. My friend Phil, shout out to you. He just sent me a Snapchat about an hour ago. He's literally in Florida right now on the beach. And he was like, "How's it going there?" I was like, "Oh, just going on day 2. It's snowing. He's like, "Oh, really? It's been a high of 78 here. It was 85 yesterday." And he sends me a Snapchat of him on the beach. I was like, "Oh, man." Oh, it's amazing, though. I absolutely love Florida. But enough about me. How is everybody doing? I hope everybody's been absolutely amazing. So today what we are going to be talking about is actually a download that I received last week, but today's download has kind of come in waves. And when I was meditating, because last time I swear I got this download probably about 4 or 5 days ago, okay? And when I got this download, it came in like literally like a puzzle. It came in through messages. I think I was like talking to a friend, and then I started to receive downloads from the conversation that we were having, and it was about the Matrix. And then next thing you know, I didn't really, because I was in a conversation with a friend, so I wasn't really necessarily trying to concentrate on the downloads I was receiving. And then later on that day when I was meditating, it came back to me again. And I wrote a little bit of it down, but then I think I got distracted, and I think I wound up having to come out of my meditation, and then I did something else. But yesterday I went into another meditation, and this entire message came up again. And now I have a full thing to talk about because I had really tuned in and allowed myself to really get these messages out in a sense. Like I really took time to actually sit down and I typed everything out. So today I have a little bit of what I know, what I want to go off of in a sense. But at the same time, even though I sit there and I have it all written out and everything, it doesn't always go followed by script, right? All right. So today, a lot of us, if you notice my thumbnail, it was talking about how the Matrix is collapsing and it's starting to glitch out, okay? Now, this is not a topic that is new to any of us. The Matrix has been glitching out for a few years now. But because there's so many of us that is about to ascend into the new earth, okay, we are going to notice a massive, massive amount of old programming beginning to collapse, okay? And as old programs and as things start to be brought to the surface that are like really harsh, harmful, dark truths. So I want everybody to truly be mindful too. And I really, really cannot stress this enough, okay? What we are doing here on earth at this time, okay, we really are warriors. We are the strongest warriors and some of the best leaders that God has hand chosen and hand picked. Okay, if you are tuning in right now, you are chosen by God. Okay, yes, you did your work to get you to where you're at now, but each one of us is fulfilling a contract. So yes, you did all the hard work, all the shadow work, integrating, healing, activating, and all that. But you have to remember, many are called, but not all are chosen. Okay, there is a lot of us that came down here thinking that we were going to fulfill the contract that, if you're tuning in, you are right now, okay? But then they didn't realize how hard it was actually going to be once they got here on Earth, okay? And not everybody was able to fulfill their part of the contract. Or some people might have, some people might have been completely cleared out, if you understand what I mean by that, from the Matrix themselves. And so there was a large burst of rainbow children that has been reincarnated here right now onto the earth. I want to say the last year and a half, 2 years, I think that we've had a large burst of rainbow children. And for those of you who are unaware what a rainbow child truly is, okay, these are all the children who are like 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old, understanding coding, understanding different languages. They're picking up things that are just, I mean, they're building things. They have their mathematical skills are out of this world, literally. They're coming in fully aware, already having abilities. Some of the parents aren't even sure how to handle some of the kids because they don't know how to fully educate them because their children are coming into this world knowing more than they do. So they're not really sure how am I going to continue to help someone grow and stuff when they don't even necessarily understand what their children understands yet, right? This is why it is so important at this time to protect our children. Okay? I cannot stress that enough. These children are literally gifts from God. Okay, so if you've had a child in the last 2 or 3 years and they are gifted, it is for a reason. And they have a big part to play here in this world. Okay, so with everything that's going on right now, I also want you guys to be very mindful that when 2024 comes, we are going to be so bright that everyone is going to notice us, right? But that also means that we need to protect ourselves, all right? I cannot stress this enough. We are going to be so bright that it's going to attract so many dark people and entities and things. We are going to be attacked left from right. I know that a lot of us are going through spiritual warfare on a daily basis. It's normal if you are a chosen one. But I don't think any of you are truly understanding what we are about to face in 2024. 2024, when the darkest of the darkest truths get exposed, all right, the world is going to be in a very vulnerable state next year. Okay, well, next year, we're a matter of days away, actually, from 2024. So the world is already in a very vulnerable state. All right. But we are about to get even more vulnerable. And with the evasion, that's what I like to call it, only because, in my opinion, it is, with our border crisis that's happening right now, I believe we're being invaded from everywhere. Okay. But that's just only because if you actually know what's going on at the border and how many people are coming over daily and how our government, yes, you heard me correctly, our government is giving them resources, giving them cell phones, putting them up in hotels, giving them food. You know what I mean? They are getting more, these immigrants that are coming over are getting more than what the people are getting. And I don't know what the enemy's plan is in all of that. I know that they opened up the border. The Democrats, okay, opened up the border so that they could get more people, right, for their votes. That's the rumor or whatever it is, you know? But in all reality, okay, it's extremely dangerous for all Americans right now, okay? And especially if you're living in Texas and, you know, down there or in California right now or in New York, because there seems to apparently when, you know, our government decided that they were going to start shipping these immigrants all over America, okay, which is just mind-blowing to me, that how much money we are spending on people that aren't our people. And now they're even offering them citizenship right away if they join our military, because there's not enough people who have been enlisting in our military. I mean, when I tell you guys that next year, we're really not going to know who is, I mean, obviously our aura is going to be so bright. We're going to know each other from each other, but we're really not going to know who is our people and who isn't our people, because we're going to be surrounded around so much darkness next year. We literally are going to be like the only lights. And so I really want you guys to understand that, because we need to protect oneself. All right. If you don't know how to physically protect yourself, I would highly, 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 highly take that money from Christmas and I would go enlist in some defensive classes, okay? Martial arts, karate, whatever, so that you can know how to properly defend yourself, okay? Because we don't know what to expect next year and how everything is going here in America. I can't particularly, talk about anyone else, okay? That's not for me to talk about, okay? And especially because I'm not living there, so I don't know from experience. Yes, I can see on the news and research other places, but you don't actually know because I'm not living there, okay? So I can only go off of what's really happening here in America because that's where I live. So I really want you guys to understand that your protection is all that matters, okay? So this is really, today I really want you to take that into consideration, okay? I know that some of us are like, oh, well, I got a gun and I got this and I got that. Okay, yeah, that's great. But with us being the warriors that we are, we're not supposed to be taking people's lives, okay? We are literally supposed to be doing our best to shine love and light into the world. But when you're faced with darkness and you're faced with people who are coming at you with a weapon or something like that, yes, you need to defend yourself. And that's why I'm telling you to go take classes or something to help defend you so that you don't have to necessarily use a weapon or a gun if it comes down to that or anything like that, okay? And I know that some of you tuning in are probably like, oh my God, this girl's going crazy. Believe me, I did that a long time ago. I went nuts a long time ago. So, but this is really what's happening. And I just want to really let you guys know, like, my opinion on stuff, and how I feel about it. And I think it's really important, especially because this was involved in my download that I got. God was telling me that I need to let you guys know what to really prepare ourselves, to truly be able to prepare oneself for what is coming in 29. Oh my God, I almost said 2019. I don't know why. That must be significant. I don't even know why I just said 2019, which is ironic because wasn't that the year of the pandemic? Because it was COVID-18 and 19. I don't even know anymore. It seems so long ago, but yet it wasn't. Now, I'm not trying to lecture anybody and tell you what to do. I'm just trying to bring to your awareness what I received in my download from the Heavenly Father, and it had everything to do with our protection, okay? And us stepping up, not just our spiritual protection, but our physical protection, okay? Make sure that you aren't just mentally prepared for what's to come, spiritually and emotionally prepared, but also make sure that you are physically prepared as well. All right. If you notice that a lot of us are going to start working out, and then a lot more people are going to start really building that foundation in their temple and making it strong. All right. So I would definitely maybe consider taking some sort of, it doesn't necessarily have to be martial arts, but that's just something that keeps coming to my mind in particular. But I definitely would take some sort of class. I would highly recommend it so that we can better understand, or you can better understand, how to properly protect oneself if a situation does happen. Because right now, it's best to be prepared for anything and everything that might possibly happen than to not be prepared at all when one of those situations actually occur. Okay. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that it's going to absolutely occur. All I'm saying is my job is to prepare you. So for when those situations do happen, you are going to be prepared. Or maybe because you took that defense class, okay, now you can better protect the people around you as well. All right. And you can better handle the situation as well. And nobody has to be killed or die in it because no weapons were needed because you knew how to take somebody down. Taking one of those defense classes would also be something really awesome, in my opinion, to do for a family activity. Having the whole family go and take one class or even two classes. I mean, of course, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I'm not lecturing anybody. I'm just telling you as a leader, and as every single one of you who are tuning in, you are also a leader. I just think it's extremely important for us to be skillful in a lot of different areas, and especially when it comes to being able to protect ourselves and protect everyone around us. So in many ways, these are the best times of our life. But at the same time, I can also see how these are kind of the worst times of our life as well, because humanity is not prepared for what is about to happen. There is not enough people self-aware and awake yet that is going to know how to handle these certain situations. That's why, as a leader, which if you're tuning in right now, you're a leader, okay? Even if you don't think you're a leader, God's about to put you on that pedestal and you're going to find out how much of a leader you truly are. So the more that you can study now, the more that you can prepare yourself now, the more that when the people have no idea where to come, you'll be able to step up and lead the people where they need to go. All right? Because like I said, humanity is not prepared for the changes that are coming. And this is mostly because everybody is still plugged into the matrix, all right? Everybody's daily routines that they are living is literally built around and locked into the material world of the matrix. This is why it is so important for you to prepare yourself and your family. Because the more prepared you are, the better chance you have at surviving next year, all right? So at this time, there is going to be so much that is exposed on a global scale, all right? So there's been a lot that's being exposed here in America. I'm sure it's been like that all over the world, let's be honest. But here in America, there's been a lot that's been exposed, it seems like, in a very short period of time. Because of course, that's what the enemy likes to do. They're like, oh, we have to actually tell you the truth? Great. So let me just give you everything at once. So you're overwhelmed and you're just going to kind of look at that pile and just look away. Because that's what they want you to do. They try to give you everything at once, or to where you're just too overwhelmed with it. So you put it down, or you just kind of like breeze over it when you read it or something, and you don't really like take it in, you know. But that's all part of the enemy's strategy plan, right? But at this time, there's been so many truths that are exposed that it's no longer going to be just truths that are exposed in America. There's going to now be truths that are exposed that are going to affect everybody globally. All right? And this is going to be, for example, when the Antichrist gets revealed to the world. That is a truth that is going to be exposed, and it's going to affect everybody on a global scale. All right? Mark of the beast, when that comes. That is not something that's only happening in America, ladies and gentlemen. This is something that is also going to be a truth that is exposed, and this is also going to affect everybody globally. All right? So all of these truths that have been being exposed for the last, I don't know, I want to say the last 5 to 7 years, there's been a large amount of intel that has been released from like the FBI, the CIA. I mean, they've just slowly been releasing all of this information to us, right? So with a large amount of intel that has been exposed, all right, a lot of us have actually already did our research on it. We already understand it. We know what's truth and what's not truth. So now all of this is about to be exposed to the masses, though. All right. And they are slowly going to begin to see that they have been fed a false narrative. All right. And everything that they have once believed they're about to understand has been a lie pretty much their entire life. All right. This is going to be difficult for a lot of people on earth at this time. All right. Just remember when you first had your awakening and you first were being exposed to these truths. All right. Imagine how some of these people who have been fed propaganda and lies for like 55 to 75 years. Or what about some of them who are like 90 or 100 years old? This is literally their entire lifespan. This is all they have ever known. All right. This is all their families have ever known. Each one of us have been here for a certain period of time. I'm very fortunate because I'm 31, so I have only been on this earth for 31 years, this lifetime. All right. So for me, in being so self aware at such a young age and understanding what we are being fed and the lies and stuff like that, I am very fortunate enough to be self aware. And I didn't go 55 or 75 years of being fed this propaganda. All right. I didn't go 100 years or 120 years being fed this. So I want you to really take that in, okay? Our grandparents and our great grandparents, if they are still alive, if you guys are fortunate enough to have your grandparents and great grandparents, okay? I want you to take into perspective right now when they start to understand that their whole life has been built upon an entire lie, okay? Now, we were exposed to these truths and started researching it a long time ago. But for somebody who's been exposed to this kind of propaganda their entire life, okay, this is going to be the people that really lose their mind, okay? And this is why it's so important for you to show up, because you are going to be that beacon of light for people that continue to give them hope and continue to allow them to, express themselves and to get it out. But you are also going to be the one there that's going to help them heal. All right. Because what people don't realize is when these truths and these lies get exposed, we're not really sure how the world's going to completely act, because everybody is going to perceive what they find out differently. Okay. But overall, expect 2024 to be chaotic, all right? Because there's going to be so many truths that are exposed, and expect 2024 to be a very depressive year, all right? So because we understand the energies that are coming and how depressive and stuff it's going to be, this is why it's important for you to master how to transmute energy now, okay? And how to better spiritually protect yourself now. So when all of this energy is around you and this darkness is around you, you can continue to have a protective aura around you, that protective shield around you. You know what I'm saying? But overall, I want you guys to understand that because the world is going to be such a vulnerable place and in a vulnerable state, I guess is a better way to phrase that. Sorry. Because the world is going to be in a vulnerable state, there's going to be people who are lost, and they're going to be looking for love, guidance, and truth anywhere they can find it. All right. And this is going to be a good thing, because some people, they're actually going to begin to question reality. And this is what we want. All right. When we begin to actually question things, why is this happening? What is this? Are you serious? This has been going on the whole time. Like, how can we change this? How can we better it? When people begin to question reality, this is a good sign. All right. Because questions, when we question ourselves and we question what's going on, they lead you to truths, yes, but they also lead you to clarity and better understanding. So we need people to question things so that more truths can get exposed, all right? But yes, a lot of truths are going to be getting exposed and stuff like that. But what people don't realize is this is about to happen on a massive scale. Next year, okay, so 2023, God removed the veil from this world. And now in 2024, there's about to be a huge, massive awakening for the entire collective on a global scale. So be patient with those around you and continue to hold space for everyone you come encounter with. All right. You should really be working on holding space for all of humanity and work on forgiveness. All right. A lot of these people are walking around unaware. Okay. So don't judge them for what they don't know, and don't judge them for how they are going to react for when they finally do know. All right. It is up for you to just stay in full power so that when the truth gets exposed to them, you will be in full power and everyone will be attracted to your light. So expect people to begin to come to you if they haven't already been coming to you, okay? I know a lot of us, we tend to have people who just naturally will begin to open up to us and start telling us all of their problems. But it's because our aura typically is very safe. We are such a bright light that they understand that even though they may not understand why our light is so bright, they can feel it. And we feel safe to a lot of people. And this is why a lot of people, it is up for us to guide them and lead them to where they properly need to go. This is also why it's extremely important right now, ladies and gentlemen, extremely important for you to connect with your intuition, all right? You need to understand what voice is your ego, what voice is God's, and what voice is your intuition, okay? For some of us who have entered into mediumship and can see between the veil, which, okay, all of us can see between the veil, but I don't know how open some of you guys are, how many of you guys can see spirit guides, entities, or sometimes I even have people that come across to me that are looking for the light and they're looking to pass over. So I help them actually pass over. People call me crazy for it, but it's just I understand the difference because I've had this gift my whole life. So I can see, I understand how to walk in between the worlds in the multiverse. So because of that, I know what is what, you know what I mean? And I know who not to interact with and who I can, you know what I'm saying? I'm not over here trying to purposely talk to the dead or anything like that. I just know what comes into my awareness and who comes into my awareness. For an example, okay, when I wrote my book, okay, I had in particular, I have every single archangel that got their own personal page, okay? Now, when I was writing my book, I felt like I was literally going insane because I had so many of my ancestors working with me. I had so many of my spirit guides. I had so many of the archangels individually who were working with me. It kind of was overwhelming, and especially when you have so many different high vibrational beings that technically aren't really physically there in the physical world, but yet you're talking to them and you're writing down their stuff. And I mean, you can literally, some people thought I was literally going insane. They're like, who are you talking to and what are you talking to? And then I would fill out a whole page and I'm like, what do you mean? This is what they're saying to me and I'm just writing it down. People are like, what? But you know, this is why I have this spiritual gift and other people don't, because I can handle it. And I believe that only those of us who can truly handle being able to see certain entities, you just know who you can interact with and who you can't interact with, okay? Because the movie Insidious is based upon, in my opinion, a documentary, because that is very much true. It is one of the horror movies that, because I don't watch horror, okay? Because I don't know, I'm just not into horror movies. All right, but Insidious is a real horror movie, and I did by chance watch that. I think they have like 1, 2, and 3 now or something like that. But it's absolutely terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Because it's true. If you walk too far away from your body, something can come into your vessel and take it over. That's exactly why people need these exorcisms and stuff like that, because it's true. All right. And so that movie scared me because that is something based upon something that can truly happen to you. And that's why it's very mindful for everybody who's a lucid dreamer and stuff like that. Like, it's very important to understand when you are walking in between different worlds, you need to understand the rules of the world, okay? The spiritual law of everything. And it's very important to also understand that when you're interacting with other people, not everything is what they seem to be or who they say they are, okay? This is why it's very, very, very important to continue to stay in the light. All right. And so I just think it's very important for people to understand that you need to connect with your intuition and you need to understand who you are truly speaking with. Okay. Some people call it a curse because we can see in between the worlds, but honestly, it is a gift. I've been able to see in between the worlds and see through the veil probably since I was at least 8 years old. I've been self aware in that kind of way. I've been very fortunate enough that my grandmother was a starseed and she did a lot of my training and she helped prepare me for the leadership role that I am going to be fulfilling, or well, I kind of already been fulfilling this part of the role, but I have a real, like, God has a massive plan for me, and I've been slowly headed in that direction my whole life, but God's got a really, really beautiful, huge plan for me in the next coming up years. And I'm very excited about it. But my grandmother, she was very self-aware and she believed in aliens and all that stuff. So she used to tell me about him. My grandma was a hippie. And she literally would tell me about the importance of being one with nature and love and light and understanding that we're not the only ones here and understanding that my brother was also very gifted, okay? My brother understood the reason why I understand quantum mechanics and the quantum physics and all of that literally is due to my brother. So my brother is no longer with us. His angelversary, he was killed 3 days before Christmas. So the holidays have always been very kind of, it's been kind of difficult for me because my brother was my twin flame. I know so many people, they sit there and say that twin flames are so romantic and they try to, like say that they are only, that's going to be your husband and you have kids together. No, not every single one of your twin flames is going to be in a romantic way. I was very fortunate that my brother, oh man, I hope I don't cry. I was very fortunate because my brother was able to, he was my twin flame and we were raised like twins. We were a year apart. And he was self-aware like I was. And we traveled all around America because we were so self-aware. We traveled all around America and I healed a lot of people. He healed a lot of people, but he very much was, I mean, my brother told me that he was my twin flame and what we were and who I was. And we had our own language and it was in code. And it was basically a bunch of like mathematical equations that we spoke in. And nobody else understood us, but I understood him and he understood me. And that's all that really mattered. But I'm very thankful that the time that we did have together, because I mean, he was my twin flame, so we were extremely close. We were literally, and for those of you who don't know what a twin flame is literally when we come down. So every single one of the twin flames are ascending masters, okay? And because the density at the time on Earth, there had to be, when each twin flame came down, okay, they were one person, one soul. It was one ascending master who, when they came down into this realm, they were split into, Plato talks about this, okay? But they were split into two. And you will have one physical divine feminine and one physical divine masculine. Each one of those polarities is going to represent the physical manifestation of your soul. My brother literally was the divine masculine of my soul. Now, I still work with my brother in the astral realm. Because of his death, actually, it led me into going and getting my certification to become a Reiki master, to even begin to go down the path that I am on right now. So everything happens for a reason, yes, but I would never, never even wish someone's twin flame to ever pass away. I would never even wish that on my enemy, because it is a pain that it's a pain and a void that will never be filled. But I understand that moving forward, I will get blessed with a kingdom spouse when my time is right. And I'm a firm believer that I will be able to bring my brother back into this world, except for obviously he's not going to be my brother. I believe he will be one of my children. He'll be a set of twins that I have. I am I don't know why my soul believes that, but it very much does, especially because that's something extremely rare for one person to reincarnate in the same exact lifetime. That's just absolutely unheard for. Okay, this is literally a very, very rare situation, that's for sure. But I do understand that the only reason why I'll be able to bring my brother back is because I was so sexually abused when I was younger that it has permanently affected me to this day. And the only thing I've ever wanted in my life was to be a mother. And it's the only thing in my life that I've not had the opportunity to fully be able to experience yet. I've raised other people in my life, like some of my cousins and my brother and all of that, and it seems to be everybody else's children because nobody seems to understand how to raise their child properly. But I've never had my own actual child. And so I understand that I was told actually by a few different people that I've never even actually met before. And they've told me when my brother passed away, I had a few different people come up to me and tell me that, kind of tell me the situation that happened. And they were channeling him, and it was but every single one of them, there's 3 different people. And what's crazy is they all told me pretty much the same exact thing, that when the time was right, because I haven't had the opportunity to properly conceive a child, that when the time was right, that my brother would be the child that I finally get to have. And for it to be my twin flame, it's truly a blessing. Even though it's very difficult to get to how I had to get there. It's been interesting too, because I also suffered from a severe brain trauma and a severe brain injury that had occurred and happened to me. So it took me a while to even comprehend for a few years there that my brother was even, had officially even passed away, because my memory wasn't all intact. I'm very, very fortunate for my mother. We've healed a lot. And I was very fortunate that she let me believe certain scenarios, because that's all my mind can handle at times. I'm fine now. I've completely came into all my memories, the PTSD I've worked through when it came to the event of that kind of stuff. Like I'm all right now, but it took me a while for me to regain myself. But that's also probably why I have decided to go down the path that I have. But like I said, we all have our own unique path that we are on right now. And every single one of our moments, even if it was something tragic that has happened to us, it has impacted us in such a way that it has also, that pain led us in a direction in our life that ultimately we were always supposed to go down, right? So enough about me. I feel like I've been rambling on and telling you so many of my deep secrets. I literally have been. All right, so we're going to kind of try to get back into what I really wanted to tell you guys today. But thank you so very much for, if you are still tuning in right now and you are listening to me, thank you, because I, for some reason, felt really guided to express myself like I just did. And I was really vulnerable with you guys, and I'm not sure why I needed to tell you guys the stories that I have today, but I'm definitely not going to edit it out. This is me being authentic. This is me being raw. This is me being me. And this is the stuff that's happened to me. And so thank you so very much for allowing me to express myself, and for you tuning in and listening. And just thank you. Absolutely thank you for giving me a safe place that I can express myself with. Because on my channel, we very much all have our own war stories, I guess we can call them, you know, because we've all gone through our own battles, right? We have our own battle wounds. And so each one of us have all been impacted in certain situations in different ways. But each one of us have found that strength within ourselves to continue to keep going in life. And that itself, each one of you right now tuning in should be very proud of yourself, because each one of us truly are God's warriors. Like, I know that it says that my name, everybody who's tuning in, you guys know me as Lotus, but my real name is actually Gabrielle. And my name, if you look it up, it literally means God is my strength. And that is, it's amazing because that literally is me, because I owe my entire life literally to God. He is my strength, my rock. And even with everything that's happened to me, even when I lost my memory and all of that, I never lost sight of God. I don't know if it's just something within our DNA or what it is, or sometimes often when a lot of us are going through a bunch of tragic events in our life, we don't have anyone to turn to. We don't have anyone to talk to. And so for me, I always turned and talked to God. Even when I was younger, I never grew up religious. I never grew up in a church or anything like that. Everything that I've learned and studied has all been on my own. See, now this is where I'm actually very thankful that I wrote down some stuff, because I was telling you guys a lot of personal information about me and I got lost in what I was supposed to actually be kind of telling you guys, even though, I don't know, I don't regret what I just said. So, like I said, it's me being vulnerable, it's me being me, you know, take it and leave it, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, just helping you get to know me and how I have got to the position I am now, okay? And so now I want to take a moment, because there's 3 little paragraphs I have wrote out, and I'm actually going to read them to you because this is actually something really important, okay? And I want to make sure that you get this information. But some of this information, be mindful, before I started talking about me personally, getting into some personal stories with me, this was stuff we were kind of already talking about before that, okay? And then so I'm going to read off, let's see, 1, 2, yeah, I'm going to read off these 3 paragraphs to you guys, okay? And then I have, 4 paragraphs to you guys. And then I actually have a transmission I would like to share with each of you. And it is from the Pleiadians High Council. All right. So, of course, I say I'm going to read this off to you guys. And then I accidentally exited out. Story of my life, man. No. All right, there we go. Here it is. Thank you guys so much, seriously, for just allowing me to be me and for putting up with me, for real. Because I'm goofy and crazy and weird and loving and light and difficult and complex all in one. You know what I'm saying? I'm a beautiful disaster. No. Nah, I'm an earth angel for sure. Oh, man. But, let's see. Okay, here we go. I got it up. Sorry, it took me a second. Is anyone else's Wi-Fi really been like, where are you at here in America? Or where are you at in the world? Drop it in the comments below, all right? I want to see where everyone's at and how many of you guys we are truly connecting with right now, all right? Because I think it's very important to understand that we are all coming from all over the world, but we are all finding each other at this time. And I think that's, well, I think it's really freaking cool, to be honest. Like, that's really cool. When I first reached 20 different countries, that was actually like, I realized was tuning in to my YouTube channel, I was like, wow, like I really am impacting a massive group of people that I didn't realize I was really, like, it really took me a second to really like perceive how much an impact I really do make on all of you guys. So that's why I think it's very important for me in particular to really express myself and be vulnerable with you guys, because I'm a normal person just like you are. But I can't just sit here and tell you guys that you need to be authentic and vulnerable without being authentic and vulnerable myself. I'm not a hypocrite, so you know what I mean? Fake is something I could never be because I'm just too real. I really am. And my facial expressions, I could not, I really can't hide them. I honestly can't. Like, if you are looking at me and you tell me certain things, I will do my best to stay calm. I will do my best to be polite. But some things, if I, even though I might be polite and say something very nice and calm back to you, my facial expression when you first express some crazy stuff to me is going to say it all. And that's honest truth, you know what I mean? And that's just, it is what it is. Like, I really cannot be fake to save my life. I don't, just like with people, like, I'm too honest too. If anything, I'm so blunt. And I've really, really worked on not being as blunt. That's why you can always expect the truth out of me. And if I don't know something, I'm going to tell you. I have no clue what you're talking about. Or if I don't understand you, I'm going to tell you. Can you better explain that? Because I have no clue what you're talking about. You know what I mean? So we are going to go ahead and dive into these couple little paragraphs now. All right. And we are going to finish it off, like I said, with this Pleiadians High Council transmission. So now, once 2024 happens, okay, a lot of us right now have already ascended, and now we are just waiting to kind of ascend into the new earth, okay? But once all of us ascend here in a little bit, coming up very soon actually, in the next week or so, then there is going to be a significant energy shift globally felt, all right? And I have a really good feeling that a lot of people in our soul tribe in particular are going to be ascending in the next week with me into the new earth and activating our light bodies, right? So you have to remember that you are about to become a whole different caliber of a person. And this is because we are being taken literally into an entirely different dimension. So because of that, you need to maintain your light bodies that are about to be activated within us, all right? So you need to also begin to apply new healthy daily routines that are going to help you maintain your light bodies, all right? Now, as we are upgraded to these light bodies, remember, this is for a reason, all right? You are going to be expected at the beginning of 2024 to be in full mission if you haven't already. Some of us are even probably going to be stepping it up and even doing double missions next year. Whatever it is that your contract is with God or what you feel comfortable with, that's up with you and him, all right? That's up with you and a big man there. But all of us will be in full mission and we will be impacting this world in such a significant way. And I guess a better way to say it is all of us, if you haven't been stepping into your leadership role by 2024 within the next few days, you should be. Because we might have been doing our full mission, might have been fulfilling our mission right now and in our purpose, you know what I mean? But you might not have necessarily been in a leadership role. So be expected to shift, if you haven't already, more into a leadership role, all right? Because that's how God is actually going to present you to the world. When the world is in a vulnerable state like they are and they need somewhere to go, they are looking for leaders to guide them. So definitely expect to step it up in a very big way if you haven't already, because we are all right now being called to the front lines. And if you think that we've been ground crew and on the front lines already, then you have another thing coming, because what we've been doing since we've been alive so far on this earth is nothing compared to what we are about to do. And that actually is amazing, because how far you have got in your life right now, like, really soak that in. Really appreciate yourself and your journey and how far you have come. God has molded you into an amazing divine being that is now going to be a leader in this new earth. Now, I want you guys to be very mindful too that for those of you who are living in America, America in 2024 is actually going to play a huge role in this new world order that we're about to see, that is about to try to play out, okay? But also remember that some of God's toughest warriors and best leaders are actually scattered all throughout America right now. And this is because of what is coming, all right? Now, I want you guys to be very mindful that even though we are going to be feeling like we are in a high vibration because we are all about to ascend and activate our light bodies, I want you to be mindful that here on the surface, though, things are about to get crazy. All right. Things are about to go down. All right. For real. Not only are some of the darkest truths about to be exposed to the masses, but it is going to be so many truths exposed that it's going to be like grenades or like these massive truth bombs. It's going to be like dominoes literally falling over. It's going to be like one thing after another, and it's going to be a lot to handle. Okay? Because you also got to remember the year 2024 is also an election year. And for some reason, I don't know if you've been paying attention to history. I'm sure you have. It's obvious. Election year is always freaking crazy. It's always chaotic. Not only that, but has anybody seen the new trailers of some of the movies that are going to be coming out in 2024? Like spring of 2024, there's a movie called The Civil War that's going to be coming out. I just think that's a little odd. And if nobody has watched on Netflix Leave the World Behind, that has Julia Roberts on it, okay, what an extremely interesting movie, and especially the time that it was released. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, okay, this movie was supposedly produced by Obama, and it literally is talking about the cyber attacks that just coincidentally just happen to be going on right now across America. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly what you guys are thinking, but what I'm thinking is they are putting it in front of our face. So I just want everybody out there to literally prepare themselves because we don't exactly know what to truly prepare for. All we know is that it's going to be chaotic and there is going to be a lot of chaos next year in 2024. So honestly, prepare yourself every way possible because there's so many different, I guess you would say, rumors going on and around the world, kind of, and gossip about what's really going to take place in 2024 and all of this stuff. I mean, I don't know if we ever truly are going to know until 2024 happens what's really going to happen. All I know is that we just need to prepare for it, okay? Now we know the Matrix has already been glitching out for years now, right? But the last year in particular, it's been extremely obvious, okay? Like it has been so obvious. But this is a good thing because God has been removing the veil. But I really want you guys in 2024, like I said, dominoes are going to be falling and a lot of things are going to be exposed. So you need to expect a large burst of systems in the matrix to begin to collapse, all right? And after doing this, don't be surprised if all of a sudden by summertime, a large amount of robots are beginning to take over everybody's jobs, okay? Prepare yourself for that as well. Be prepared, okay? Because be mindful, the enemy is trying to create its own army, right? It's trying to create these transhumans, and that's what they're trying to turn us into, right? Creating its own little army there. Well, we are also our own little army, right? And so you got to be mindful of what you're actually going up against next year, too. Okay, we have a lot that we are going to be facing and that we have been facing. So this is going to be a really interesting year for 2024, especially because it's all going to be leading up to the grand finale which I call it the grand finale, because in my opinion, the arrival of the Antichrist is coming. So that to me is a grand finale for them in a sense, you know, because next year they've already been setting the stage for the arrival of the Antichrist. Remember, the Matrix is literally just a stage, and it is a system playing a holographic animated show. Think of the Matrix like that, okay? Now, I know it looks like everything is going to be falling apart and being extremely chaotic on the surface, but in actuality, everything is being brought to the surface so that it can be changed, cleared, and healed. All right. This is also why you need to remain in your power. Because even though everything looks chaotic and everything, all of those towers that are going to be falling around you, you are an alchemist and you know how to alchemize those energies. And so be very mindful. All these towers that are falling around you, they are happening because you have the power to transmute that negative energy into positivity. Remember your power, all right? And remember to remain in the light, remain in prayer, and continue, okay, to just spread love and light everywhere you go. Kindness is contagious, my friends, okay? Spread that around like glitter. I love glitter, so not everyone else does, but I definitely love glitter. I'm literally like a unicorn. I'm very rare, but once you capture me, you might get to keep me. Who knows? I haven't been captured yet. Like I said, I'm a unicorn. I'm very rare, and I'm magical. But I often don't stay for very long. I fly away. Oh, man. But I do want you guys to also be mindful that next year, a lot of us are going to be developing more of our psychic abilities. So I want you to pay attention to the different energies that you are going to be coming into, and that's going to be coming towards you or that's going to be around you. All right. It's very important to tune into the energies because the energy itself is going to speak to you. All right. Our senses are all going to be heightened next year. If you think that your senses are heightened now, just wait, my friends. All of our senses and all of our abilities are about to be amplified. We're about to take it up another notch. Even when we thought we couldn't, here we are, leveling up again. That's right. And as we continue to level up and we continue to get more sensitive and our abilities enhance and we continue to grow, you really are becoming more and more and more and more of a master. And the more that you can connect to and the more energies that you are understanding, the more the universe is communicating with you and the more that you are going to be plugged in. All right. Now, I am a firm believer right now that our abilities next year are going to be enhanced so much and we're going to become so sensitive because if the grid does go down temporarily, even, we are going to be so connected to the earth itself and understand the energies that are going on and be able to tune into them so that we can feel things, see things, you know what I'm saying? That's how come we're going to be able to continue to lead the people and know the direction to head in and where to bring the people to safety or whatever it is that we are actually going to be doing. All right. Now, this is all going to be a part of the massive awakening that is happening around the globe. All right. And this is also intended to the beginning of the year. I'm not really sure what's going to be happening besides us really amplifying and understanding our new abilities and feeling more sensitive and stuff like that. But I do want you, I recommend it, to really sit with energies. Just sit there and meditate outside even. Right now where I'm at, it's freezing where I'm at. So, it's 333. Nice. Now it's winter where I'm at right now. And I have been walking my dog, but I'm not trying to like stay outside really because I don't do good in the cold. Okay. I don't thrive in the cold. I'm a summer baby. Okay. I was born in August and I'm a fire sign and the hotter, the better for me. That's just my element, you know? But I'm a firm believer that If you sit down with yourself, complete silence, and you actually take time to meditate, I want you to really tune into, like, really challenge yourself. Like, how far can you hear things? What can you hear? How many different things can you hear at once, and then begin to tune them out? You know what I'm saying? Like, really sit with yourself and practice these things, because this is also going to help you when the time comes for you to really, not only does it help you practice, okay, which enhances also your abilities as well, but it also helps you understand yourself more. And the more that we understand ourselves, the more that we understand the world, then the more that we can understand how to help others as well, right? So at this time, it's extremely important to continue to connect with your heart and always remain in prayer, all right? The enemy is definitely going to try to send you confusion all next year. Yes, we've been experiencing spiritual warfare on a daily basis, but the enemy is just going to hit us with things next year on such a more heavier, I want to say heavier waves. Like, we're going to be getting hit almost, I don't even know how to describe it, to be honest, because it's just going to be, next year is just overall is just going to be amplified, everything. So just be extremely aware next year of everybody and your surroundings, okay? Because not everything is as it seems. That's why it's important to connect with your intuition. And if you feel like you need to leave somewhere or you need to take action, do it. Do not doubt yourself next year. More than anything, you and your intuition need to be one. Okay? You, your intuition, and God, they all need to be one. That needs to be a direct line. Gotcha? That way you can truly understand your purpose and your leadership role here. But now I'm actually going to go ahead and get into this transmission from the Pleiadians High Council, and I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up this session. All right. This is a little bit of a longer podcast because I actually did get pretty personal with you guys, and I hope it was okay that I got personal and vulnerable with you guys. For those of you who are really in my tribe, thank you for allowing me to express myself. And for those of you who didn't maybe resonate with today's message, I do have other messages out. You're more than welcome to check them out. I highly recommend going and checking any of those out. I have ASMR sessions. I have a little bit of everything, to be honest, on my channel. So I'm extremely gifted individual. So I'm very thankful that I can do as many things as I can. Alrighty, so before I keep rambling on, we're definitely going to dive right in now. All right, so let's begin. Greetings, beloved one, from the Pleiadians High Council. The winds of change are flowing across the entire earth plane at this time. These are powerful vibrations of love that have originated from the universal consciousness and are transmitting out this pure flow to be absorbed through the energetic web that is covering the earth. This pure vibration of light is being aligned through the magnetic core and is pulsing across the earth. Frequencies interacting directly through the heart cells of who you are ready to be received. This force of love is bringing a pure, healing frequency into the hearts of mankind to allow a new form of sacred light to open within the heart cells. This vibration is designed to allow a higher potential to be received and realized within those of you who are on the path of ascension. You are being realigned back to an original aspect of your higher light body consciousness at this time. This is all taking place through the new vibrational frequencies that are hitting the earth. You are being realigned and opened into the sacred senses. You are no longer going to be able to realign to your original meaning point of self, which is what is happening now, okay? So for those of you who don't actually understand what that means, it means that basically you can't go back to who you are now. Once our light bodies get activated, there's no going back, all right? So what is happening is predestined. You are at a tipping point only you can consciously open up to and choose to receive through the vastness of your own heart. Your heart is your sacred tool, and it is the most powerful of all the tools that you have been given for you to access this unlimited amount of abundance and clarity. Your heart is your guiding light. So open it to receive the vastness of your abundant potential now. Each one of you, ground crew, is going to receive everything that you are going to need for the entire year of 2024 once you shift into this new earth. Each angel, starseed, or lightworker on earth at this time is being asked to spread love and be love. And you can only truly do this and express this through your heart space. So in 2024, it is extremely important for you to keep an open heart. When you keep an open heart, this allows Christ consciousness to flow through, which also allows you to truly create the kingdom of light. Each one of you on earth at this time plays a significant role in anchoring in and bringing in the kingdom of life to this realm. Now, I want you to be extremely mindful that everything you might be lacking now, once you ascend into the new earth, you will obtain all the abundance that you need to fulfill your mission and purpose at this time. Everything that you are in need when it comes to resources will be given to you. And do not worry about the people who you are attracting. Everybody who you are going to be coming in contact with the first 3 to 4 months is going to be part of your soul tribe. And if they are not part of your soul tribe permanently, then be mindful that they are there to give you an important piece of information. And that important piece of information is going to be the intel you need on your path. We are the Pleiadians High Council, and we are wishing you the best and many blessings. That was a really short message today, but it was quite beautiful and it was straight to the point. So I thank you so very much for everybody who has tuned in today and everybody who is sending nothing but love and light and support. And just know that I am sending you love and light and support. And remember, my friends, you are not alone in this crazy world that we are in right now. You have found your tribe. You have made it home. So thank you so very much for tuning in. And I just want every single one of you to know that you are loved. I love you all so very much. I'm sending you all love and light. Until tomorrow on another episode on this Divine Conscious podcast. Take care, my friends. Namaste.